Lyle Menendez has just been denied parole. 36 years after one of America's most infamous crimes, he and his brother Eric will remain locked away. But here's the twist: you might not know the real story. In 1989, the Menendez brothers shocked the nation when they gunned down their wealthy parents inside a Beverly Hills mansion. For decades, the world believed it was greed, cold-blooded and simple. But what if that story, the one we all grew up hearing, was a carefully crafted illusion? What if behind the designer suits, the mansions and the headlines, there were secrets so dark, so disturbing, that the system chose to bury them instead of exposing them? This isn't just a murder case. It's a tale of hidden abuse, a justice system that refused to listen, and a media circus that turned two young men into villains before the full truth could surface. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you'll relive the blood-soaked night, the trials that split America, the lives reshaped behind prison walls, and the shocking evidence that could change how history remembers the Menendez brothers. And trust me, the most disturbing twist hasn't even been revealed yet. If you want to see past the headlines and uncover the secrets others try to bury, hit subscribe right now. Join this community of truth seekers. And if this story makes you question what you thought you knew, tap like so more people can discover it too. Step into 1989. Beverly Hills, where wealth screams from every corner. A sprawling mansion, glittering with power, should be a fortress, right? Wrong. On August 20th, the night exploded with gunfire. Jose Menendez, a Hollywood mogul who clawed his way from Cuba to corporate dominance, and his wife, Kitty, a former beauty queen, were slaughtered in their den. 15 shotgun blasts left their bodies unrecognizable, blood soaking the Persian rugs. Their sons, Lyle, 21, and Eric, 18, dialed 911, their voices frantic, claiming they'd returned from a movie to find their parents dead. The call, played endlessly on newsreels, sounded like raw grief. But weeks later, those same sons were in handcuffs. What turned them from victims to villains? If your world shattered, how would you act? Lyle and Eric didn't mourn quietly. They unleashed a spending spree that shocked the nation, blowing through $700,000 in months. Lyle snapped up a Porsche Carrera, a $10,000 Rolex, and Armani suits, strutting like a king. Eric hired private tennis coaches, jetted to Europe, and even sank cash into a rock concert venture. Tabloids screamed greed, branding them spoiled brats cashing in on their parents' $14 million estate. To millions watching, their lavish lifestyle was a confession of guilt. But could this frenzy have been a desperate attempt to outrun something far darker? What could push two young men to admit to such a monstrous crime? This is where the story cracks wide open. In a therapy session, Eric crumbled, confessing to psychologist Jerome Oziel that he and Lyle killed their parents. The real shocker? They claim Jose, a domineering patriarch, had sexually and physically abused them for years, starting when they were as young as 6. Kitty, they alleged, either knew or turned a blind eye, trapped in her own unraveling world of addiction and denial. The session was secretly taped, and when those recordings leaked, they set America ablaze. Were Lyle and Eric calculating killers or terrified sons who saw no escape? The nation was forced to face a question it couldn't answer. Would justice hear their plea? The 1993 trials, televised on court TV, turned the Menendez case into a cultural earthquake. Witnesses, cousins, coaches, even a family priest testified to Jose's controlling cruelty, describing a household ruled by fear. Medical records and photos hinted at years of physical scars. Yet prosecutors painted a different picture. Two entitled brothers plotting for millions, staging a tearful 911 call to cover their tracks. The first juries, one for each brother, deadlocked. Some saw victims, others saw liars. In the 1995 retrial, the judge gutted their defense, barring most abuse evidence as irrelevant. The prosecution leaned hard on greed, and in 1996, Lyle and Eric were convicted of first-degree murder and conspiracy, sentenced to life without parole. They vanished into prison, but their story haunted the nation. How do you live when freedom is a pipe dream? Behind bars, Lyle and Eric carved out new identities. Eric married Tammy Sackerman in 1999, finding solace in a pen pal romance. Lyle wed Rebecca Sneed in 2003, anchoring himself to a new purpose. For 22 years, the brothers were kept apart, their only contact through smuggled letters. Then in 2018, they reunited at Richard J. Donovan Correctional Facility. Their embrace, a raw, tear-soaked moment captured on camera. Eric earned a sociology degree from UC Irvine, teaching yoga and meditation to fellow inmates. Lyle founded ACER, a support group for abuse survivors, channeling his pain into advocacy. Both became model prisoners, earning praise from guards and inmates alike. The world began to ask, were these the same killers vilified decades ago? What if their claims about Jose were true? In 2023, the case cracked open again, with revelations that stunned even skeptics. Roy Rosselló, a former Menudo band member, alleged Jose Menendez sexually abused him in the 1980s, lending chilling credibility to the brothers' story. A 1988 letter from Eric to his cousin Andy Cano surfaced, its handwritten words gut-wrenching. Eric described his father's abuse in vivid detail, pleading for help months before the murders. These bombshells powered a habeas corpus petition, arguing the brothers' trial was flawed, ignoring critical evidence. If courts accept this, could their life sentences collapse? The question lingers like a shadow. Could 36 years of imprisonment finally end? In May 2025, Los Angeles County Superior Court Judge Michael Jusick sentenced Lyle and Eric to 50 years to life, citing California's youth offender law, which recognizes that young adults under 26 can change. This made them parole eligible for the first time. On August 21, 2025, Eric faced a 10-hour parole hearing, baring his soul, admitting his lies, and pleading for redemption. The board denied him, citing a recent infraction, using an illegal cell phone in January 2025, and a 2005 prison fight, arguing he still posed a moderate risk. Lyle's hearing on August 22nd mirrored his brother's fate, with the board pointing to a 1997 altercation and smuggled phones, despite his tearful apology. "I'll forever be sorry for the harm I caused." Both can try again in 2028, but their past, both the crime and prison missteps, change them still. Is justice fair, or does it silence the powerless? America can't decide. In the 90s, tabloids branded Lyle and Eric as greedy sociopaths, their faces plastered on magazines as emblems of evil. The Lyle and Eric Menendez story have recast them as survivors of a broken system, with millions rallying to their cause. Over 24 family members, including their aunt Teresita Menendez Baralt, and high-profile voices like Kim Kardashian, argue they've served enough time, pointing to their rehabilitation and new evidence. Yet DA Nathan Haukman stands firm, arguing in a 132-page filing that they've never fully owned their lies, like claiming self-defense or orchestrating a cover-up with perjured testimony. This case isn't just about two brothers. It's a mirror to a society wrestling with whether to believe victims when the abuser holds the keys to power. Lyle and Eric sit in their cells at Richard J. Donovan Correctional Facility, their next parole chance not until 2028. Their clemency bid, backed by Governor Gavin Newsom's review, and their habeas corpus petition keep hope flickering, but the road is grueling. Even if parole is granted, Newsom could veto it, as he did for high-profile cases like Leslie Van Houten's. The deepest secret may not be why they killed, but how we confront the ugly truths of family trauma. Do we cling to easy labels, murderers, monsters, or dare to face the gray? So what's your call? Are Lyle and Eric Menendez heartless killers, or victims forsaken by a system that failed them? And if you feel that pull to keep searching, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, so you never miss a step in our journey to uncover what still hides on this earth. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.